Hello, welcome to this little mini presentation, Confidence and Self-Worth. My name is Jackie Case from Confidence Coaching UK. So let's get started. So welcome. I have a question for you to start off with. What is the one thing you have always wanted to try but never had the confidence to do? That could be within your career, business, relationship, love. It could be in your mindset, money, health. Kind of like have what is a goal? What is a desire for you, but you kind of taught yourself out of it? So when you were born, you're actually born pure and innate. And the only thing that we had was fear of loud noises and falling. Everything else has been a learned behavior. So I want to explain to you how the mind works. And the best way to do it is if you can imagine computer. You buy a brand new computer, it's blank. It's not until you put your files on it, your experiences on it, that actually that computer starts to fill up. And that's the same with the mind. Now, what happens is we have certain experiences in our lives that we can actually go timestamp, we know exactly when that happened. And when we have things in our life that have not been pleasant or negative experiences, they may not be time-stamped and you may still feel the feelings today. It's almost like having loads of files open on your computer and they're just shrunk down. And then something comes up and then pop up again. And that's the same with your emotions. Our head is like a massive computer, and that computer basically stores all our memories. And it also stores what we believe to be true. So whether you've experienced something and it's been a good experience, or you've had something in your life and it's hurt and it's been painful. Now, fear is something you're saying to yourself that you cannot do or you cannot have. Now, if you're born pure and innate, then really and truthfully, you should be able to go for anything. Whereas when you actually have prior experiences and something comes up, that's when really you start to sort of like push back against it. But it's only things that we are saying to ourselves that we cannot do, we cannot have, when really and truthfully, maybe as a child, you might not be able to do things, but as an adult, we have freedom of choice. We can actually do what we want and be what we want, but sometimes we put limitations on ourselves. Confidence only comes when you've done it before, and let that sink in. No one is confident at everything. You may see somebody and they have this aura of being confident, but that doesn't mean to say that they know all the answers, they've done everything. It's only because somebody has done it before that you feel confident. So let me give an example on this. Think about your first day at work. I don't know what you do for a living now, but maybe the first day, you get up, you're getting ready for work, and your nerves are kicking in, you're feeling a bit nervous, you don't know what to expect. Whereas now you do a job, and sometimes you do it with your eyes closed. And that really and truthfully is what confidence is. It's not until you experience it once. Sometimes you have to go through a little bit of uncomfortability to get the results that you want. So self-confidence, let's take a look at exactly what that is. And self-confidence is a belief. It's you believing yourself. So no one else can give that to you. It's not an external thing that you can touch, you can buy, make yourself feel better. It's a belief that you have within yourself. It's your own abilities. It's able to say, I'm capable of doing certain things. It's your own judgment. It's trusting yourself. And it's trusting your decisions that you're making are true. And it's not about being perfect, because if everything was perfect, then you would never learn. Sometimes it is about learning. And when you kind of like procrastinate a little bit on something being perfect, that can prevent you from having what you want. It's about feeling secure. Now, when I was growing up, I never really heard of things like anxiety or depression. We had depression, but anxiety was more about feeling insecure. I don't feel secure to do that. Well, when it's something new, of course you're going to feel insecure. But of course, I'm not making light of anxiety. Anxiety can be very strong emotions, but there is a feeling of insecurity because it's something new. But actually, new and fear, excitement and fear are actually two the same emotions. So when you get to grip at that and you try things out and you actually see how far you've come, it's actually very rewarding. Now, a lot of times people spend their time looking externally for answers. I'm going to learn that from this person, or I'm going to learn that from them. They're going to do it for me. But actually, it only ever comes from within you. So you have to look within your side, inside you, to be more confident and happy, whatever that is for you. Happy is such a, such a big word, really. And happiness means something to something else. To me, happiness means feeling calm and not chaotic. Now we have confidence, but we also have personality traits, and these personality traits can affect how we act and behave. And there's something which is called an introvert and an extrovert. So let's have a look and do a little quiz and find out who you are. Just 5 questions. The first question is, how do you prepare to recharge? Do you like to spend time in small groups with close friends? Or do you like being around people and socializing, and that's how it makes you feel better and motivated? When facing a problem, do you tend to reflect quietly on your own, maybe journal it out, or do you like to talk it through with other people and find a solution? In a social setting, you prefer to listen to and observe before joining in the conversation, or do you like to jump in and enjoy leading that conversation? So choose which one you are, A and B. What is your ideal weekend activity? Are you the sort of person that likes to read a book, watch telly, movie, spend time in nature? And that could be with your family or friends as well. Or do you tend to be more of a party person, networking with events and group activities? Now, I would probably say my younger self would definitely be attending parties and networking. But as I've got older, I like to be around people, but it doesn't make me an extrovert, I suppose. It makes me more, I still like to do activities. How do you feel after a long day socializing? Do you come away feeling drained and needing a quiet time? Or do you feel energized and buzzing, ready for more activities, wanting to book your next one in? So let's have a look at results. If you scored mainly A's, you're more likely an introverted sort of person. If you scored B's, you're more likely an extroverted person. But you can also be a combination of two, depending on the circumstances that you're in. So don't try and pigeon mark or label yourself one or the other. Life is transitional and you may move. You may have been this way before in the past, but it doesn't mean to say that you can't be that way in the future, whichever way that is that you want to be. Some people like to shut themselves off into nature. Blocks to happiness and confidence. If you are an introverted person, you fear rejection. You cannot avoid opportunities because you fear the judgment of other people. You tend to be an overthinker. You spend too much time analyzing situations, which then leads you to self-doubt, leaves you to criticizing, comparing, to negative thoughts. Avoidance of social risks, missing out on meaningful connections, and because you feel discomfort or you feel uncomfortable doing something. Remember, confidence only comes when you've done it before. Social introverts. Practice expressing, solutions for introverts. Practice expressing your thoughts in a safe and small group, people that you feel trusted with. The more you do it, the more you go. Sometimes you have to go to events, you have to do something that you might not enjoy at first. Have you ever thought of something that you're going to do something and then you've had an amazing time? You kind of talk yourself out and then you go along and it's like, oh, I really had a good time. Sometimes you just have to push yourself through that comfort zone or uncomfortable zone. Challenge yourself and try new social activities at least once a month. Or if you really want to be brave, do it once a week. Focus on your strengths like active listening and thoughts. Now, this can be huge. Sometimes you go along to events and actually Be a people watcher. I tell you what I love is sitting in a little cafe and just watching people go by and just looking at different things. It's almost like reality TV. That's why we like it so much. We get to see what's going on in someone else. And so I suppose that's also like social media. We like to see what's going on in somebody else's life. It's only there to look and see. It's not there to judge. But sometimes when you end up going into your own thoughts, and this can be a strength, actually. Blocks to happiness and confidence for extroverts. So, just as much as introverts can have issues, extrovert people can as well. And that's because they depend on others for validation. We all know people that can be the loudest person in the room because they want the attention. They're relying too much on external feedback and feel good about themselves because what others are saying to them. Overcommitting. These people can spend so much time expressing themselves that they don't spend enough time, and they spread themselves so thin that it can lead to burnout. Difficulties with interception, avoiding deeper connection because they're so loud, they're so wanting other people's attention and validation that they forget and disconnect with themselves. So we all know that behind, in open spaces, you can be one thing, but behind closed doors on your own, you can be another. And when you're disconnected between the two, that can also make your life it can make it chaotic rather than calm. So solutions for extroverts is to set some boundaries and don't overcommit. Dedicate some quiet time, journaling, reflecting, just sitting in quiet. Some people are so uncomfortable with quiet, but actually you need that time to recharge your own batteries. Develop resilience by celebrating personal wins without the need of external validation. Rather than looking for external people to give you validation, is actually pat yourself on the back once in a while, and actually give yourself some praise. We all have life experiences, and we all have a brand new computer that's got new files on it all the time. Everything that you do is a new file. We actually learn about 60,000 or 70,000 bits of information a day. Luckily, we're not aware of them all, but every single day new information is being given to us, and all life is a new experience. And every day is a school day. Basically, learn. That's how you grow, that's how you develop. And learning something new actually gives you more confidence and conviction to carry it forward. So today is a blank piece of paper. What would you like to write on your piece of paper? What could you change today that could make a difference to you tomorrow? What do you want? Now, when we were younger, we all had ambitions, but later in life, not so much. We kind of like have gone through this blueprint of life, go to school, meet somebody, or go to school, get a job, meet somebody, have a family, maybe not have a family, get married, maybe not get married. These are all kind of things that are open to us and kind of like a little bit of a blueprint for our life. But what we don't tend to do is we get to a certain age and we stop having ambition. What is your ambition? What are you on? What are your goals? And sometimes what happens is we make those goals so big that we end up not achieving them. Whereas rather than actually having some little interim goals to get you to the bigger goal. Notice. These are things that you can notice that can help yourself. Notice the fear. What is it? Now I say it in exclamation marks. What is it that is causing you to stay stuck or fearful? Comfort zone. Now, the comfort zone is a nice place to be. We feel safe, we feel secure, but over a period of time, you're going to get bored and complacent because you're not stretching yourself. As humans, we are designed to be stretched. We're designed to come out of our comfort zone. So if you stay too comfy for too long, you get complacent. Who? Is there anybody out there who is kind of preventing you from doing what you want? Do they say things to you that can stop you? Do you feel that you kind of like get this disapproval look or something? Or is it yourself that's doing that to you? How? If you've got an ambition and you want to do it, how are you going to get there? How are you going to monitor it? How are you going to track it? How are you going to develop it? And this is where I'd like to help. First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to pause, reflect in a safe space. We're going to question any blocks that you may have, put a plan of action together. Accountability is huge, is actually there to give you, as a Ravian fan, to celebrate those successes, but it's also there to kick you up the bum if you need it. Support and advice when you need it, which is really important. I help you plan for change, build confidence so you can speak up for yourself, say no without any guilt, and go after opportunities you once avoided. And that could be in your work, career, business, love life, relationships, mindset, and beliefs. And my main thing that I do is I like to work with is the Confidence Club. Now, for people who just are short on time and want results fast, they want a transformation quicker, I do a 12-week program. And that's where you do coaching once a week. We basically jump on a call, a live call. It can be by phone or by Zoom. And we look at areas of your life. We look at 10 areas of your life. We go in depth, asking you some questions. And then we look at it, we have a little plan, and then you'll have a week to then do it in. If you're a person who likes to take things more gradual and gentle, you can do a 12-month program. And that's where we do coaching once a month. And that starts from a price for a cup of coffee a week. So if you think how many times you go to Starbucks or cost to get a cup of coffee, you could be having one-to-one support instead. If you're allowed, you can still have your coffee, but maybe you might just want to have some support. And it's over 12 months. And this is where we really get to change your life and really evaluate. It's basically allowing you to really have time to reflect and pause and actually just question it and actually think, okay, I can change this. So how you can do this is you can text me by on my telephone number, which is 07940909708. We can have a taster session. Just send me a text and we can just have a little chat. You can email me at info@confidencecoachinguk.com. Or you can check out the full details on my website, which is confidенcecoachinguk.com. I hope you found this informative and I hopefully will look forward to meeting you very, very soon.